Hiya! How you doing?
I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. It's the heart of America, the heartbeat of a holiday. The place was made with a magical plan, and just around the corner is a fantasy land. I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Main Street View, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.com. I am Shawn, and I'm so excited to be joined with my awesome, amazing co-host, Louie. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing pretty good. It's a beautiful evening. Glad to be here.
It is. We got to talk about some things. We talked about price hikes on the live show the other night. We were going to talk about that a little bit on here, but I think, like you even said before we popped on here, I think we hit it pretty good on the live, and I mean, we'll probably touch more on that on Extra Magic Hour next week, because I know Nicole has some opinions about the price hikes as well. So we'll save that for the Extra Magic Hour. Also next week, I'm going to pimp us out here a little bit. Next week on the Extra Magic Hour, we're going to have David Vaughn and Danny from Just Ask Danny on Instagram. They're going to be on. They have a brand new podcast that they're doing. I'll be interviewing next week. You're going to be a part of the Extra Magic Hour next week with us. So check out all of our stuff, Extra Magic Hour, Knights of the Rogue Republic, Main Street View, Marvel Tribe. We'll be back. I promise you. They're on a hiatus. Dave is taking care of some stuff, and Sam is teaching, and Brianna's nursing, and it's just everyone's busy right now. It's a weird kind of time of year, but we're going to be back with everything, but we have us tonight. So I'm going to hand the reins over to the game master, the ring master, the Main Street View guy himself, Mr. Lewis. What do you got for us tonight, my friend?
All right. Well, actually, I appreciate that introduction. I think we need to do a deep dive episode of just the team themselves. Like, let's deep dive everyone's whereabouts.
Oh my gosh! I mean, do we have time? I mean, you think about all the hosts we've had on this show. We've had Shawn Nyberg, we've had Ethan, and just life gets in there. You know, Amber, Jade, Tim, who started this podcast with me, you know, and with me and Chris back in, you know, 2 years ago, a little over 2 years now. Tim is my boss at work now, so we both can't be on the show together. So that just is what it is. And I created, so I'm on the show and he's not, and he understands that, you know. And then you have, like I said, Shawn Nyberg, who is an amazing man, and we love him. We miss him. Ethan got promoted at work, and just, it's, you know, Amber became a CEO in the middle of all of this of where she works. Just all of a sudden, just became the CEO of the business, of the nonprofit that she works for. David works for Amber. Brianna travel. Y'all know she's a traveling nurse, and stuff happens. Sam is more, you know, Sam's a teacher, and she is, you know, she's way more busy during the school year. So that wasn't your deep dive, but I'm trying to, hopefully I didn't miss anyone. I mean, there's so many people on there.
You kept going.
Well, well, you said, I don't know. Just so you guys understand how this show works. I have no idea what we're going to talk about for the most part. The other shows, I plan them, you know, and I'll write not really a script, but I'll like make myself notes. This show was Louis' idea. So I said, it's your show. You run it, and I will just be your co-host, basically. I'll do the introductions, and down the road, he can do the introductions. I don't have to be on here sometimes. He can do individual shows by himself, but we're just getting this kicked off. We're going to deep dive. What are we deep diving tonight, Louis? I'm on my energy drink here. It's almost 9 o'clock at night on a Friday.
Nice.
Let's go.
With us deep diving, what we're going to be deep diving today, in the midst of everything changing, people liking what was, people like what's coming. And a lot of this topic tonight was described off of, or came from, the new Little Mermaid trailer as well as posters. So what we're going to deep dive is live action versus the animated film. Which one do you like more?
I thought we were going to be deep diving the whole Halle Bale thing again.
I mean, we are going to get into that, because I feel like so far it's a close match. I got no negatives versus no positives against one or the other. Okay. I think they are.
No, talk about everyone else being negative about.
Yeah,
about a Black Little Mermaid, which is a whole nother freaking show, a whole nother topic, and you're freaking idiots if you feel that way. Just I'm throwing that.
Absolutely. I I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No.
I mean, at least give us the opportunity to see the movie first.
Mm-hmm.
After we see the movie, and I guess that's the first part of this discussion is our views on live action versus animated, because animated, everyone loves the animated movies, but when you look at the finer print of the animated movies, there's some comments, there's some actions, there's some pieces in the film that if you were to put that in a live action movie today, many people would raise the eyebrow.
Yep.
But today you put things in a live action movie that are socially accepted, commonly accepted however you want to look at it, and we don't bat an eyebrow. So that's kind of the discussion, is discussing how these movies are being remade and the new points of views that we don't like, but how we don't look at the classic animated cartoons and don't want them to change it. What weighs out the difference, and what are key things that we look for in those movies that make it a Disney magic film versus a Disney marketing, let's change the world type of film? Because I feel like those are the two views in all of Disney's movies. It's either kid magic or you're trying to force something down our throat.
Yep.
And I honestly don't think it's either of those. I think it's just storytelling in general.
Yep.
But with that, what is your views on the live action or animated movies being remade into live action movies?
I don't mind it. I understand that you have these amazing movies, and I'm surprised they have not done like Little Mermaid until now. Little Mermaid is probably one of the best animated, I think, Disney films out there. It got my kids and everything. It got my oldest daughter involved in loving Disney and stuff like that. I don't see a problem with it. The problem I don't know how to like the Lion King. The Lion King I thought was really, really weird because, you know, a drawn Lion King, it looked really good. The Lion King live action, if you can even call it live action, because they're actually all CGI as well.
Yeah.
So you can't really call it live action. It looked weird to me. I'm not going to lie, but it was still good. You know, we can go through. I'm sure we're going to go through and discuss it. I don't have a problem with it, honestly. In my opinion, I get why Disney does it. Why not rehash something that did really well for you and see if you can bring it back in? I did not like the Aladdin remake. It was okay. I don't think Will Smith did a good job as the genie. I didn't care for him as genie. I know that's probably a very unpopular opinion, but the way that movie looked weird to me and it was because of Guy Ritchie, who was the director as well. It just had a weird look to it to me, and I didn't like it. So
I agree. And many of the live action movies, people are mad because Disney's doing this.
No, I don't get it.
I don't understand it, because if you're mad that Disney's doing this, most of the younger crowd that's mad about this, some of them weren't even born when this started. So
you're absolutely right.
I did a little homework to find out what is the first live action remake that was considered a live action remake under the Disney title. And it's actually The Jungle Book that came out in 94. That's considered the first live action official Disney movie. So technically that's almost 20 years ago.
Right.
Actually, no, I lied.
That's almost 30 years. That's almost 30 years. Yeah.
So therefore, it's been happening for quite a while. I think the problem is some of the movies that people feel they're so carbon copy, or they're trying to change too much. I enjoyed The Lion King, but I do agree if they didn't give us Jungle Book first, Lion King would have been hard to buy into.
Right.
But they gave us Jungle Book first, which I think helped like oil the machine and get ready for Lion King. But there are some live actions that I thought did not need to be made. Was not a fan of the live action remake of Cinderella.
Me neither. I agree with you there.
I wasn't a fan of the live action remake for Pete's Dragon. I mean, but you could even go back and say like,
is Pete's Dragon really? I mean, if we're gonna break that down, the original Pete's Dragon was basically live action, because you had you know what I mean. So it was,
and that was one that I was curious about, because I was like, well, it's not much different.
That's like Mary Poppins. Is Mary Poppins live action? Would you consider that? Is Mary Poppins in your list? I mean,
Mary Poppins is not on the live action list.
because that's the same thing if you think about how it was filmed with the penguins and everything. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would agree though. I was even questioning that. So I went and looked at how many sites had Pete's Dragon as a live action remake, and some of the more commonly used ones, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, ones like that had Pete's Dragon labeled as a live action remake. I guess probably because more of the remake side of it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan of that. And with these movies, but there are some movies that I did enjoy. Beauty and the Beast, I thought
Beauty and the Beast is probably one of my favorite remakes. Honestly, I think they did a great job with that. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
I thought Emma Watson did great. I mean, you can't see anyone else. I don't even see the other Belle anymore when I think of I see Emma Watson as Belle. I thought she did a great job. A little awkward singing, but I mean the way she sang and stuff like that but I thought it was great. I loved the introduction of like a little more backstory into, like, they had the part there where they went back with the mom and stuff like that. And a lot of people, like we talked before we went on, you said about them adding stuff to be socially, I don't know, to be
accepted. I guess you want to,
like making LeFou homosexual. I mean, they didn't say it, but there was enough there that you saw it. And you're like, okay, it is what it is. But I thought, I mean, the way he was with, the way LeFou was with Gaston, you could tell, okay, he's into him. Great idea. I thought it was great, and I that's probably one of my favorite actual live actions. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you bring up a good point. It gave us a little bit more, and The Lion King did that for me. The Lion King went the part where Simba or Mufasa challenges Scar. He says, "Well, are you challenging me?" And he's like, "I'll never do that again." And it just focuses on Scar, and they just pepper in just enough change to give you a little bit more than what you expected. No one ever asked the question of, where's Belle's mom? Maybe some people did. Maybe some people did in the animated movie. But the magic of that movie carried it without that. And I like that they gave us more in that. The same with Jungle Book. Jungle Book, it played more to the story of I can never pronounce Kipling's story.
Right.
And I like that. I like that they played more to it. And with all of this is what kind of confuses me with movies like, say, on the list here. Here's one that I felt played so close to what the origin story was, but got no love, and that's Mulan. Mulan got almost, I mean, granted, it had the Disney Plus premiere thing. I think that kind of played a little part in it. Some fans were not approving that there was no Mushu. Some fans were like, oh, there was no music. Yeah. But this movie played to the T, from my understanding. I am not a historian at all, but from everything I've read and looked up, Mulan played so close to the origin of what Mulan would have been had it been a real person. And from my understanding, there is a folk tale that Mulan is a real story. I haven't looked into it, but that movie was firing all cylinders to just be okay. And it got no love.
Right. I agree. I think it, and I think a part of that was a Disney Plus release on it. That helped it. I think it would have done pretty well in the theater. I think,
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have did great in theaters. And then so for me, I think it's just a matter of how much fan base does the animated classic have that doing a live action remake kind of tarnishes that fan base. There's another one that was remade, and I totally forgot about this because, again, it was sacrificed to the Disney Plus gods, and that's Lady and the Tramp. Yeah. Lady and the Tramp got, I forget about it. I still have yet to see it.
No, I don't think I have seen it. Yeah, I love Lady and the Tramp. The original, I love it, but I have not seen the live action. So
I'm curious, like, what causes the real rift on animated and movies becoming live action? Because there's quite a bit in the pipeline. We have Little Mermaid coming out. We have Peter and Wendy. We have what else? We have I think a Lion King 2 Mufasa's tale. It's Mufasa, which that could be good. We don't have a story on Mufasa. So there's quite a bit of live actions in there that are coming out. And I'm curious, what is the fan base's feedback on that regarding those ones that are coming out?
I like the idea of Lion King 2 if it's something different. And again, I have no issues with the remakes, but I'm looking forward to something new, something different. Peter and Wendy, is that? I'm not familiar with that. What is that? Is that like a
Peter Pan?
Oh, so it's a remake of Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be good, but there's a lot of Pan stories out there. I mean, there's quite a bit.
There is. Yeah. What are your thoughts like on Alice in Wonderland? Those live action.
so you're going down a topic that we could get into. So there are some busts in my books. So I was going to ask
one of
you,
them.
what is your top 5 busts, like live actions, ones that completely missed the mark? You've watched them. They were whether they were good or bad. They're like, nope, never again. I'm sticking to animated. Everyone
loves Cinderella. I thought it was okay. It's I don't know if I can name 5. The obviously Alice in Wonderland. It's Pinocchio. I did watch Pinocchio, and I'm like, it was okay. It was not. I mean, but Pinocchio is not one of my favorite Disney movies. So I thought that Tom Hanks did a good job in it. And like I said before, Lion King looks weird to me. Like when Timon and Pumbaa are talking, it's just some of the looks on it are weird. And Aladdin, I think Aladdin was a miss. I know a lot of people loved Aladdin. I mean, it was fun. I don't know. A blue Will Smith was just really weird to me. And I don't think Robin Williams is someone that you mess with, if that makes sense. There's a few things you just don't mess with. And they could have done it with Robin Williams, obviously, but I don't think that one needed to be done for that. Will Smith, I thought, just have the story to that too. How I don't know, that movie really rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't know, just a lot of different things in it. Entertaining it and stuff. The girl that played Jasmine was great. I mean, the new song that they put in there, that Shameless or Down. You Can't Keep Me Shameless or Seamless or something like that. I thought that song was great. The Will Smith stuff, I don't know. It wasn't I don't know. I can go back and forth with that. Maybe it's my non-liking of Will Smith at this point now for other things, but still, I don't think he did a good job as the genie, and I hope they don't bring him back as a genie again, because I know they've talked about it, but I don't think they will at this point now, obviously, because of what's happened. But The Rock as the genie, maybe. I know you hate The Rock, but you don't hate him. But I mean, The Rock as a genie, I think would be okay. But go ahead. Hit me with yours.
All right. So my top 5 missed the mark. Alice in Wonderland, both 1 and 2, are up there. I mean, after I mention my next one, it's going to kind of tie all of it in. I thought Dumbo was
Jesus, I didn't even think about that. For sure.
Dumbo,
terrible.
I could watch Dumbo for the first half of the movie. Once, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton. Once Michael Keaton comes into the movie, I'm out. I just think that second half of the movie is horrible. But all the Tim Burton live action remakes have just been not good. Another one that I did not like that I thought would have been a tad bit better, but it did make the list, is Cinderella. Cinderella was not that good.
Right.
And then last one would be Pete's Dragon. And Pete's Dragon, I wanted to like it, but it just, the raw nature of the animated movie made it so much more enjoyable that this one just didn't have that same magic to it. It's not a bad film, but I just think it definitely missed the marker. It had so much more room to be better than it was. But then again, though, I mean, so according to the list that I have, there's only it says right here 19 live action remakes that are considered live action remakes under the Disney brand.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm about 60% sold that they're doing okay. I don't think they're all hits. I don't think they're all misses either. But I do like the adventure they're going. But if you look at the first 19 Disney films, it's like one out of every 5 a general fan likes.
Right.
You start with Snow White. I mean, how many true die-hard Snow White fans are there out there? You have grumpy and dopey fans, but not Snow White fans. You go the second film, Pinocchio. There's a fan base out there. Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket. Yep. Fantasia. I mean, Fantasia was a miss for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Bambi was up there. Bambi. I mean, how many Bambi fans are out there? Not a whole lot. Thumper fans, yes. So like, you go one every 5 Disney animated movies, and everyone likes them. You go one in every 3, since there's only 19 right now. 1 out of every 3 live action remakes people are fans of. Now, with that, I am curious to hear your thoughts, though. And I know we kind of touched on it a little bit. Overall, what are your pros and cons for what you have seen in the next Disney live action remake, which is The Little Mermaid? What are your pros and cons for this movie overall, for what we have seen either at D23 or in the trailers, or even in just the poster art and sneak peeks that we've seen on social media?
The pros, I would say, we did see they released, part of the trailer at D23. Skylar and Derek from DisInsider were in that panel, and I guess they showed the whole part of your world, and they said it is amazing and completely blows it out of the water, and and they're very excited for it after seeing that. You don't know. I mean, you don't know. I mean, who's playing Ursula? Is it
Melissa McCarthy?
That'll be great. That will be absolutely amazing. And is it David Diggs is playing Sebastian? Am I right?
Let me pull up the.
I think it's Diggs who's playing Sebastian.
I had it up too.
I think that'll be good. I'm looking for. Little Mermaid has a special place for me because my oldest daughter Jordan, she was born in 90, so I mean it was right around that time. So she loved Little Mermaid. She loved Lion King.
So we have.
I'm curious, just who's I'm. It's going to be good, and then my cons we'll go through in a second here. It's only really one big con, but that's
So we have Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Haley Berry as
Haley
Ariel.
Bale, yeah.
Jonah King as Prince Eric. Okay. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
She's going to crush that. I'll bet you she steals that movie.
Okay. I'm going to save mine because I got some.
Okay.
Javier Bardem as King Triton.
Okay.
Jude, I can't pronounce the last name, as Grimsby.
Okay.
Noma as Queen Selena. There's a couple new characters, Karina and Perla, which I'm assuming are the sisters.
Okay.
We have David Diggs as Sebastian.
That's gonna be great. He's from Hamilton.
Okay. Jacob Tremblay as Flounder.
Okay.
I did not know this, and I'm gonna save my opinion on this, but we have Aquafina as Scuttle.
Yes.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is rumored, not confirmed, to be Chef Louis.
Oh, and then, okay, I like that.
And then right now, there's other actors listed with no names, but those are all the names that are there. The only one that is rumored would be Lin-Manuel Miranda as Chef Louis.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. So my con is only one con is the stupid idiots that have a problem with Ariel being black. That's my con. That's you read all this stuff, and I follow 480 different groups on Facebook, just Disney football kind of stuff. Most of them is Disney, and the comments people make, that's not my Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid is okay. For one, mermaids are not real, and that's, I don't know. That's not my biggest con, is just stupidity of people. And we've discussed this on the other shows a few times, and just don't be idiots. Come on.
So me,
yeah.
I've got a handful of pros. I got a handful of cons.
Okay.
If I didn't have pros and cons, I wouldn't be myself.
Nope.
So a few of my pros that I'm really stoked for is obviously music's in the movie. I think that's a huge piece for Little Mermaid. I don't know if you can pull that off without having music at all. Another pro that I like is that the mermaid wasn't a traditional mermaid. They have a hybrid of what we think is a mermaid and what a Syrian is, and I really like that. Another pro that I like is that overall the marketing seems to be a similar look at the original, but a new take on what's new. Right. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to put pros behind because I've only seen so much. My cons are, one, I don't have any problem with Ariel or the actor like that. I think that's perfectly okay. I mean, I will wait till after the movie to make my judgments, but it's not going to be the judgments of the actor because obviously the actor is one piece of that puzzle. For sure. I do not like that Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Really?
I think she'll do a good job, but she would not be my first 5 pick for Ursula. I really liked Queen Latifah on that live.
See, I thought she was awful on that. I thought she missed so much on that.
But I mean she missed quite a bit on that live one. But given that it was live and some of that, if they were to give her that role with a little bit more deeper scripts, not her singing to the song or actually sing the song, and then not only that, the concept art for Queen Latifah being Ursula, that leaked out years before that happened. Yeah. So I was really sold on that. Another person that I thought would have did really good as Ursula would have been, I just had her name. She did why am I blanking it? She did Ghostbusters with Melissa McCarthy. She's one that caught a bunch of hate mail because she ruined the character and that she was black. So that I forget her name. But she was in the new Ghostbusters.
Is she on Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I cannot think of her name. I think
she would have
Leslie. I think it's Leslie. I think it's Leslie Jones or something like that. I might be off, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Tracy Morgan, like a female Tracy Morgan. That's who I cannot think of her, but I think it's Leslie is her name. But I know you're talking about.
I think she would have been tight, or this is a very left field pick, but I think Rebel Wilson would have been tight as that.
Yeah, that would have been good actually. When they talked Lady Gaga, I was pretty excited about Lady Gaga doing. I thought that would have been.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Or if they do a sequel and she does the sister, let's go. I'm in.
Yep.
But another con that has nothing to do with the movie is we haven't seen a good live action underwater movie. Aquaman's water scenes were really bad. The CG in this one, I know it's a trailer, it looks pretty bad. So I'm very nervous because underwater scenes have not been the best. Unless we're talking about the Wakanda trailer, that looks legit, but underwater scenes have not been that good in so many movies.
Right.
So hopefully it works out, but we'll see. Like I said, my cons are more about the flow of the movie, not the movie itself. So I'm excited to see it. Looking forward to see it. I know there's a lot of people that are not. I know there's a lot of people that are willing to give a chance. But hearing that Lin-Manuel Miranda is playing Chef Louis possibly.
I like that a lot.
I liked it a lot too, but I feel like even though Chef Louis' scene is very small in the animated movie, I think it's going to be even smaller in the live action because Lin-Manuel Miranda is a good actor, but I don't think he's a better composer and storyteller.
I'll bet you if it's him, he'll have a bigger role. I think they'll put him in a little bit more. That's just
maybe
because of who he is, But they're putting him in a lot of stuff right now too, so but I do like it. I think that'd be great.
All right. So now I got the last little piece of that. I really thought some of the live action stuff was going to go a little bit further, but I got a little game for us.
Okay.
And it's pick 5, make 5, which realistically you're picking 5 to make. So take a second to think of 5 animated movies or No, yeah, just animated movies that you have not seen in live action that you would enjoy to see live action. And obviously, by you enjoying it, meaning it's done to your perfection. So 5 animated movies that you hope to see live action.
Okay, will you do yours while I'm doing mine? Because I'm writing a couple down here right now.
Absolutely, and live action would still be like Lion King status. So obviously, if you chose a movie like that, so for me, my first one that I would like to see live action or a remote part of live action would be Pixar's The Good Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see that as a live action just because the hype behind Jurassic Park. Yeah. So that one is my first one. My second one is I would like to see a live action prequel to Up. I would love to see a Carl and Ellie story, but with some more adult-like drama where you find out that she can't have a kid, where you find out all that stuff. It has the same heartfelt like Odd Life of Timothy Green. When they made that movie just tugged on so many emotions. I hope that they would do a Carl and Ellie prequel live action movie.
Okay.
Going over towards Disney, I know we talk about this. I know there's a bunch of fan theories out there. I'm not going to lie. You get James Cameron to rewrite or recreate Atlantis, and we're game on. Like, Atlantis needs to be redone. Like, that movie would be, like, stellar if they redid that live action.
Right.
My second, or my fourth one following that, you have James Cameron Treasure Planet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be good.
Treasure Planet would be so sick live action. My last one that I hope Peter Jackson, the one that did Lord of the Rings, so that have him come back and do the Black Cauldron, or either Black Cauldron or the Great Mouse Detective, where it's like a old school like London Magnum PI movie, but the people that are playing mice, their names, they're not actually mice. They're actually human characters. And like Radagast is some like crazy mob boss. And like you morph those people into humans. You just take their names and utilize them as humans. But I would like to see Peter Jackson do either Black Cauldron or the Great Mouse Detective.
Okay. Those are good. Black Cauldron, I cannot.
Dude, but imagine that, like
live action. It would be a completely different. It'd be a game changer.
Oh, absolutely. And
you're not gonna like my choices. I'm telling you that right now. You might like a few of them, but yeah, Black Cauldron. That's and Treasure Planet. I really like that idea as well too. Are you ready for mine?
Yep.
Okay. First one here is The Incredibles. I think you could find like a bunch of big stars to play all those different characters. I think you could find some Disney teen like movies kind of, and who plays. I mean, you could fan cast who would play Miss Incredible. I mean, you could just go.
Oh, hold on! Don't fan cast it. You're gonna jump into the next activity. Don't fan cast.
Okay, I won't. All right. Next one you're gonna hate. Moana. I think Moana will look cool, but it's the same kind of thing. Like, how are they going to handle the water? You know what I mean? And you have The Rock play. I know we're not. You have The Rock play Maui. People, why not? You know what I mean? So
no, Moana was on my list. Moana was on my list because I thought The Rock, if you gave it a more like culture like vibe, I think The Rock would play that role perfectly. Like, I don't like him as Maui because you hear that it's The Rock, like clear as day. Like, there's no slight difference. You don't buy into the character. But if you're going to go live action, The Rock is the perfect person to do it.
Okay. Next one, because I saw this whole cast at D23, and I think it'd be fun to see the same exact people that were in the cartoon be the character in live action, which is Frozen. I would like to see. I like to see the exact people that play them in a live action. I mean, I know age-wise nothing fits, but to see Indina Menzel play,
that could That's a hard one. But I mean, I can see it. That's the crazy part. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, and then like Jonathan Groff, or I think that's his name, who plays the guy looks like him. I mean, the guy looks just, and they do really well. It's funny, like with those characters. I mean, you look at Anna, and you see Kristen Bell. Is it Kristen or Kirsten? Is it?
I think it's Kirsten.
Yeah.
Kirsten Bell.
You see her face, but you look at
Idina Menzel,
and you don't see that in that same person.
No.
It's not Elsa looks nothing like the character, but the guy that plays
Kristoff.
Kristoff looks it's the same guy. And I don't, maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but even Josh Gad, I look at Olaf and I see Josh Gad's face. I don't know why, but you do. I think you couldn't. That'd be weird live action to have him as a snowman, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, you sold me more on that one than Incredibles. Incredibles, I was on board with you. I was
okay.
I was trying to visualize it, but I was like, okay. But with you sharing Frozen, I mean, I could buy into that. I mean, if we can get a blue genie, we can get a white Josh Gad.
That's true. Oh my God, how weird would that look? And then I have Up. I think Up would be a great live action. Just the actual movie Up itself, not like you said a prequel, which is a great idea, but Up is a great movie, and I think it'd be fun to see in live. Like what you could do visually with something like that, with what's out there, CGI wise. And then the last one visually, because the movie was so visual as a animated, it would be Coco. I think Coco.
I didn't even think of Coco.
If you did Coco live action. I was going back and forth between Coco and Encanto, but I've only seen Encanto once, and it was okay in my opinion. It's Coco, I absolutely love Coco. I'd watch it whenever. You know what I mean? And
I'm going to change this next activity while you're sharing that.
Just the way, I mean, Coco is probably I think one of the most beautiful movies, just because of all the colors and all the orange from the petals and stuff when they're going over the bridge, and then the scene when they go over the bridge and then they're in the land of the dead and you just see like stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of these colors and these buildings, and like, holy crap, this is how long did it take to do that for one? And it's beautiful, and I think that what you could do with that live action, I don't know if you could even make it come close to animated, but it'd be cool to try. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So your little Coco pick has caused an audible in our. I don't want to say it wasn't a planned activity, but it was a backup activity if we had more time. Which right now we got a few minutes. So
no, we're fine. We can go as much as you want. That's fine. We're good. All right.
So we're gonna do a little fan casting. I have 3 movies.
Okay.
I dropped
These are my favorite.
I dropped one for Coco. Okay. So we'll start with Coco. So I'm gonna go and give you 5 characters from the movie, then and you will tell me who you would see act as that character.
That's tough
in a live action movie. So obviously, your first one is Miguel, the kid, Ernesto de la Cruz, Hector. We'll do Mama Coco.
Okay.
And for some comedic relief, Dante would not be a dog, but Dante would be a wingman to Miguel. So who would you cast for those 5?
So Miguel, gosh, that's tough to think, because you want to keep it. Obviously, that movie you'd want to keep it like a Latino actor for sure because of the. So I'm trying to think. Or would you? Would you have to? You really wouldn't have to. I'm trying to think of a young actor right now. I can't think of a young actor at all. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to defer because I don't know. What's up, little man?
So,
how you doing, buddy?
What's that?
Good.
What's your name?
Ethan.
What's that?
Ethan.
Ethan, how you doing tonight, bud?
Good.
Good, good. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
That's why I said oh dear. I don't know. I guess Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars? Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. What's your favorite ride at Disneyland?
Oh, you just have to say it.
What's your favorite ride, buddy?
I guess. I guess Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, that's good. So tell us more about yourself, Ethan.
What grade are you in?
Third.
You gotta say it louder so they can hear you.
I'm in third grade.
You're in the third grade?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's your favorite thing to eat at Disneyland?
Yes. I forgot what its name, but it's in the other side in Disneyland before you go on the cap by the Star Wars ride.
The Milks?
No, the other one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh wait, which one?
The pizza place.
The pizza place.
By
Pizza
Planet?
Wars.
My Pizza Planet?
By Pizza Planet or with Aliens Pizza?
Planet.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for popping in, Ethan. That's Ethan. It's Ethan, everyone.
We'll have to get a deep dive one with Ethan.
There you go. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I figured out who I'd have as Miguel.
Okay, who?
I can't say his name. It's the kid from Karate Kid. The one that plays Miguel in Karate Kid.
Okay.
It's like Zoshio. I'm trying to. I tried to look it up when we were talking to Ethan there, but I cannot think of. I put in young Latino actors, and it brings up hot female actors. That's where it took me. So that's weird that happened. Yeah, Zolo. His name is Zolo. He's in Cobra Kai. So
okay.
Yeah. Who are the other characters? Because you got me.
It was Miguel, Ernesto de la Cruz, Hector, Mama Coco, and then as a curveball, we're gonna make Dante Miguel's wingman. So who would play Miguel's wingman?
Josh Gad. That one's easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I like that one. And then Ernesto de la Cruz. Who do you have? Because I'm
So Ernesto de la Cruz, I really had George Lopez.
Okay. I was thinking him for Hector. Honest to God, I was thinking him for Hector. Okay, but I do like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously we just changed this one to add it because the way you shared Coco, I was like, this would be a fun one.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't have anybody for Miguel that I could think of off the top of my head.
I typed up young Latino actors when we were talking to your son to try to give me some idea. Mama Coco be Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay.
I think that'd be. And who else did you have?
It was Mama Coco, Dante, Ernesto de la Cruz, Hector, and Miguel.
Okay, I think I got them all then. I can't.
Me, I was thinking what would be really funny I know Coco was such a beautiful movie, but for Hector and Ernesto de la Cruz, I was thinking George Lopez, and then the gentleman that plays Ernie as Hector from the George Lopez show themselves.
Yes.
And then, out of inspiration from the movie Hairspray, I thought it'd be hilarious if we had Gabriel Iglesias play Mama Coco.
Yes, please.
Have him play Mama Coco like John Travolta played the mom off of Hairspray.
I freaking love that.
Now, granted, it wouldn't be as beautiful of a movie as the animated one is, but it would be a great comedy.
Oh yeah. I love the Fluffy idea. Fluffy that would be. Yeah. Yes, please.
All right. So going on to our next fan cast. Okay. This one is changing the role of the story a little bit, but keeping the guideline of the movie. So the movie's Inside Out. So
I'm going to stop you because I've never seen that.
You've never seen Inside Out? Wow!
I've heard it. I'm sorry. I've heard it's really, really good. I've never seen it, and I suck. But
So then we'll save this for a game, but I'm gonna throw the question out to you.
Okay, I get the gist of the movie because I know what it's about, but I've never seen it, and I feel like an idiot for being a Disney guy.
The idea of that I came up with for fan casting is Riley's Riley that we see in the movie, but if we were to make that a live action movie, Riley is able to see her emotions. Her emotions are able to help guide her through this, but only she can see her emotions. So therefore, almost like the Sixth Sense, she sees them, nobody else does. Who would we cast to play anger, fear, disgust, sadness, and joy? So maybe you can think of that based on just the personalities, but who would you cast for anger, disgust, fear, joy, and sadness?
Anger, there's so many freaking choices. But Harrison Ford.
For anger?
Yeah.
That'd be tight. Okay.
And I'm just completely going off the cuff, not seeing the movie, not knowing anything about it. What was the other one?
It's anger, disgust, sadness, fear, and joy.
Disgust. I'm trying to think of a cranky actor. You know what? It's kind of out there. Disgust, I would say, William Zabka is. He plays Johnny Lawrence in Cobra Kai. Because it's just, okay. You've never seen Cobra Kai? Have you seen Karate Kid?
I have.
Okay. He's the blonde kid that gets his butt kicked by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's kind of cranky in the show. So, and that was disgust. No, that's not good enough. That's crazy because disgust. What's the other ones? Just give me the other ones so I know.
Joy, sadness, fear, and anger. But you got anger with Harrison Ford.
You got anger with Harrison Ford. Joy. I think that's kind of weird too. Gwen Stefani.
Okay.
And then you said disgust.
Disgust, fear, and sadness.
Fear, I would say. What's her name? She's. Joy would be Elizabeth Olsen, just so we're clear. Because she's joyful.
If you haven't watched the live show, you know why Elizabeth Olsen is joyful.
But fear, gosh, that's. I feel like if I knew more about so you're just saying like who encompasses fear,
like So when Riley's in her head, so to say,
I feel like an idiot saying I've never seen Inside Out. I feel like
her emotions take over. And joy throughout the whole movie, no matter what she does, is finding joy in that. Everything's joyful. Sadness, no matter what the moment is finding sadness. Same with anger, disgust, and fear. And so everything they do, no matter how good it can be, is that emotion. So anger, when he's happy, he's mad because he's like wailing on the horn or just cussing or something like that. He's even in his happy moments, it's still anger.
Disgust, I'm going to say Kevin Hart.
Okay, so I have Kevin Hart in my list.
Okay,
but not for disgust.
Okay, and then so what else do I have left? I just have sadness and fear. Fear. I cannot think of her name right now. I see her, and have you seen the show? The movie Superstar. The girl puts her hands in. But is that Catherine Hahn?
Let me see.
Or is that's Molly Shannon? It's Molly Shannon, I believe. It's Molly Shannon. Yeah, I would pick her to be fear because she's kind of just weird and yeah. So there we go. It's not the best fan casting. Sorry, but what are yours?
So joy is Emma Watson.
Love it.
Fear is Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Disgust
I can see that.
is Ryan Reynolds. Anger is Hugh Jackman. And sadness would be I just had Channing Tatum.
Okay, I see you. I see what you got going there. It's better than mine for sure. But you knew this beforehand. Maybe some of the things you tell me beforehand, so I can.
Yeah, all the time when you're like, hey, we're good for tomorrow. Yeah, I'll send out the whole itinerary, and then it's like right now, and I'm like, I didn't send him nothing.
Nope. It's okay. I like this. So this is like generic conversation, which I absolutely love. This is great. So, what else we got?
All right. So, last fan cast that we have for tonight is one that is rumored to be coming around, but we don't know. Is Hercules? I've heard it's coming. We haven't really. I've looked on IMDb, and I don't think there are any, like, even remote, like, possible movies coming. So based on that, the 5 characters that we have here are obviously Hercules, Meg, Hades, or Phil, and I have Phil, Hades, Hercules, Meg, and as a double combo pack, we'll go Pain and Panics. Technically, there's 6 total. So we'll start with Hercules. Who is your fan cast for Hercules?
Zac Efron.
Oh, that's a really good one. Thanks.
And then you said Meg?
Meg.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang, you're... Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's next? Hades. Jeff Goldblum.
Bloody hell.
What was next?
You're on this one. This is yours. Phil.
Phil. I'm gonna Pain and Panic real quick which I think would be. I'll come back to Phil. Pain and Panic. I think Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I think would be. Phil's just her just a little buddy, right?
Yeah, that's the half goat guy.
Yeah, so that's Danny DeVito in it now, right?
Yep.
So it can't be Danny DeVito. The guy that plays, and I can't think of his name, right? The guy that plays Luis in Ant-Man.
Oh, Michael Pena.
Yeah, I think that he'd be. Yeah, so right. I feel better about that one than my last one. So,
all right. Okay. So my Hercules is Chris Hemsworth.
Love it.
All right. For Meg, I was thinking Lady Gaga.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For Phil, I was thinking the guy from oh my gosh, it's Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage.
There you go. Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
For Hades, honestly, I was thinking Samuel L. Jackson. I thought that'd be kind of interesting.
I like that.
And then for Pain and Panic, I was thinking The Rock and Kevin Hart.
The Rock and okay, yeah, that'd be good too. I like that. Yeah. Do we have more fan casts?
No, the only other one that I had was for Wally, the one you don't like.
No, I can't even do it.
No,
what are you gonna? You gonna pick who's gonna play a robot?
I was gonna see like if we did some. That was the first one to really see how off the wall we can get. But I was like, we'll see. But then when you said Coco, I was like, oh, that sounds so much more cooler than Wally. So I swapped out Wally for Coco.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Yeah. What else you got for us tonight, my friend?
That is it. Just a real deep dive and closer look of why fans have issues with live action remakes. Mm-hmm. If remakes were in our own hands, what would they look like? So for instance, our fan cast, did you like them? Did you not? Just really trying to open Pandora's box of what goes on with the live actions, why choices may be made, why choices may be missed. But overall, what is the real reason why live actions are so much of an issue for many fans today?
It's money.
It's
money. People, and this is a whole. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, all the people that don't like Disney that go on all these sites and bitch about Disney, but they will continue to pay their money, and they have no. I might be going off track here, but I think Disney obviously does it because Disney obviously does it because they know they can make money off of them, which is very smart. you have an IP that is very popular. I mean, maybe a live action of Wall-E would be better than the cartoon. I don't know. I mean, just so they know they can make money because they have a fan base. Like I'm telling you, like my daughter, who was huge in The Little Mermaid. That's going to open up a whole new era to all these kids, people that were adults at that time, A Little Mermaid. Now they have their kids who are now adults, so now they're going to introduce their kids. So it's going to regenerate all this stuff, and it's all money based. Everything is money based, And I think that's the biggest motivation behind most of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if it's money. I mean, I think it's a very valid point that you mentioned. I think if I had to pick two reasons why I think people have an issue with it, and I'm only saying that people have issues with it because if they like it, you like it. There's no real reason to nitpick it. But I think, one, we have put some of these animated movies in such a sacred place in our hearts, whether it was because we actually enjoyed the movie, we remember mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whoever it may have been that took us to see the movies. They hold such a special place in our heart that we don't want people to mess with it. I think that's people
fear change.
People fear change. Yep. If your favorite house when you were a kid, rides. I mean, there's so much of that. But I think also the second reason too is I blame a lot, like you mentioned a little bit ago, social media. I think many people are okay with The Little Mermaid, but since social media tells you not to like it, then they don't like it. But one thing I would love to encourage people, whether you don't like it, whether you don't like any live actions because of their race, whether you don't like it because of style, whether you don't like it because of the language barriers, however you don't like it, if you don't like it, that's fine. Having your opinions, that's fine. If you don't like, say, for instance, The Little Mermaid is what kind of sparked this deep dive topic. If you don't like Little Mermaid because she's black, that's fine.
Right.
You're entitled to that opinion. But if that's the reason you don't like it, just share you don't like it. You cannot like something, and then there's also stuff that you don't like that you don't want others to like. And I think that's the difference. I don't like the pineapple or the pickled corn dogs. People may like them. But I'm not going to tell everybody, oh, you shouldn't like that. No, if you liked it, you liked it. And I think that's the key thing everyone needs to realize with the live action remakes. Disney wasn't the original ones of these stories to begin with.
Right.
They were borrowed from somebody else. So I think for me, I think the biggest thing that people are upset with is you're messing with some sacred ground. And everyone always tries to go back and use the line, no, well, Walt wouldn't have this. Like, really? Walt remade a lot of animated stories based on other human stories.
I hate hearing that. That's the one thing I hate. And that can be a whole freaking topic on this show is Walt would return over in his grave.
Yeah.
Walt never feared change. Walt always wanted to continuously change and always move forward. And like he even said himself, Disneyland will never be complete because it's constantly changing. He made that very clear and everything. And, Walt's not going to roll over in his grave. It's all good, guys,
But yeah, so that's other than that, though, that's all I got for tonight's episode. But I do have topics written down, so I'm getting ahead of the game for our next couple shows. Which order they happen, I don't know. But
throw them out there. What are you thinking?
So I got merch flippers on one. We got merch flippers on one. We got if you would rebuild a land, what would it look like? And then we got a request from Instagram deep diving some of the rides in Fantasyland. So with that, we have those three episodes in the works. How they come out in which order, we're not sure. But I would like to throw out there that if come one of the episodes, we could probably do a live show and add the last 15 minutes of the show to take some Q&A. Obviously, that'll have to make sure it's a topic that has some beef and potatoes to it. But overall, those are the next key topics we have unless something comes up abruptly.
Love it, man. Well, I appreciate you. Appreciate you setting all this up. Appreciate the Main Street View. Appreciate all you listeners to Walt's Apartment and all of our other shows. And Lewis, take us out of here, my friend.
All right, guys. Well, as we close out the show, we hope you enjoyed the view from Main Street.
Yes, indeed. Good night, everyone.